Welcome back to Real Bass Lessons. I'm excited to be doing some new lessons for you. I've been on a little vacation this summer. Actually, a big vacation. Been doing a lot of fishing. But now that fall's here, cool weather's coming on, everybody's back in school, I feel like let's get some music going, playing some bass. I'm going to proceed in the fashion that I've been doing in the past, and that is I'm going to bounce around between topics each week and do different lessons. I'm going to try to focus a little more on the double bass too. I know you're going to love it. Let's do it. This week, we're going to start with the song Summertime. Here we go. Boy, that was fun. I really dig that tune, and I enjoyed that little groove we had going there. Now let me teach you a few things. There's a lot of elements going on in there, a lot of technical and conceptual things that I can't teach all of it to you right now. That's fine. But let's look at the sort of fundamental. What's the thing that made it sound the best? Probably the groove. Groove is a difficult thing to talk about because everybody sort of describes it as the feel, this thing you can't put your hands on. Well, that may be true, and groove is feel. It's good time. It's a good swing. It's a happy, dancey feel, but it's also just an accuracy in presentation, in performance, in execution. So let's look at first that melody. I tried to play the melody so that it grooved by itself. Let's hear it. Let's try it a little bit. 1, 2, 3. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3. Now you notice it should be grooving again by itself. It shouldn't be that situation where, hey, you bass player and drummer, you guys just keep a bunch of good time over there and we'll just play all over the top of it. No, every person, the melody of the soloist, everybody needs to play good time. And also, too, what's it start with? It starts with the melody. Why do you think they call a tune a standard? Not because of the solo or the bass line, but because of the melody. So let's figure out a real good rhythm, which I just played for the melody, and work on it. Get it solid. Your execution of the melody should be perfect. It just should groove, and it should be the same over and over and over. I know some jazz guys go, oh man, you got to vary it all the time. Well, that's not necessarily true. Can if you want, but it helps a lot with the groove and the group playing together if you play the same thing over and over in your execution of the melody. Let's try that again. See if we can remember that rhythm. 1, 2, 3. Exactly. Now understand, how do you practice that? Well, you can just transcribe a melody from one of your favorite players. How do they play the rhythms on this song? Rhythms and the pitches, exactly how they do, and just memorize that. That's a good thing to do. But we can also practice good time. Any physical activity, the professionals practice the fundamentals. So let's practice quarter notes with that groove. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. John Laporta, my mentor, used to say, if you can't groove on the quarter notes, man, how do you expect to groove on the other ones? Let's play some eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now the hard part, of course, is when we have to not play every one, but leave some space by creating rhythm. The hardest thing to play is always the rests. Let's do that rhythm again for the melody. 1, 2, 3. Loop it. 2, 3. That's an interesting little thing I'm doing there I want to tell you about, and that is I'm always hearing that little groove, if that's the groove to the song, and I'm making my subdivisions fit into it. I once heard John Clayton say, he said, I'm never playing by myself, even if I'm on stage alone. That means he's hearing what's going on and he's playing with the music in his head that he's learned and worked on. So that is a key to playing good time. Practice your rhythms, listen for that subdivision, and make them just feel perfect. By the way, that solid groove, that's not an energetic thing where you're sweating and working real hard. No, that's an accuracy thing, very delicate and very accurate. Let's move to the bass line now. I think I'll put the little groove back on, and I'll play some good solid subdivision, just quarters and eighths, on like just that fundamental A minor chord the song's in, okay? Let's go to that now. Let's just start with some quarter notes. Eighth notes. Now here's pretty much the bass line I played earlier. I'm playing a subdivision of quarters and eighths. I'm just not playing all the pitches, all the beats. I'm playing a rhythm. 1, 2, and I'm emphasizing those eighth note patterns. 3, 4. Again, 3, 4. One more time. 3, 4. Cool, huh? I want you to be willing to take the time to work on these fundamentals. Man, good professionals in all sports and everything else like that, they work on the fundamentals all the time. I swear there's an epidemic today. Musicians are afraid to admit and afraid to work on like these basics and fundamentals. Man, the baseball and the football players are always working on footwork and arm slot and swing. Just the fundamentals, man. You can never be too strong. I had a young student just a couple days ago say, man, how can I do more? How can I do more? And I said, let's don't do more. Let's do deeper. Huh? Let's just get that tone and that articulation and that intonation better on your double bass. And concerning playing cool language and stuff, how about we just get a lot better with that language that you know, as opposed to a lot more language with actually not saying as much without it sounding as good. So that's what you need to do here. Be willing to just put a little groove on and just work with your time and listen and listen and listen. And remember this is a tough one. The hardest thing about education is that we don't know what we don't know until after we learn it. You say, well, how do I learn it then? You just do it over and over, focusing. Get your drum groove going, focus on quarters, focus on eighths, and then listen back to yourself, record it. And if you do that enough, you'll start hearing it. I've had a number of students who, you just keep pushing that wall, listen and practice, and all of a sudden they start going, I heard that this wasn't good. I heard that this is getting better. That's vital. That only comes through repetition. There are secrets around the corner if you're willing to focus and practice enough repetition. You can do it. I know you can. I think I'll end just by playing the song one more time, just a bass line. Here we go. Let me get my drum machine going.